So we met up, and that's when I realized that it wasn't just a casual networking meetup. He actually wanted me to coach him already. So he asked, Caleb, do you do coaching? And I went, yes. But my head was, you'll be the first coachee lah, you know? I don't even know what a coach really was. But I just quoted him a big number, as big as I could dare to dream. And he said, okay. Right. So that wasn't the turning point, the big win. The big win was when I see what worked for me, worked for him as well.
Alright guys, welcome back to this second episode of Conversations. Now today I'm very happy to have with me Mr. Caleb Loh, right? Conversation is about this series where we talk about sales, marketing and entrepreneurship for those of you who want to start and get going, right? So this series we invited top experts in their fields. Like today we have Mr. Caleb Loh with me. Now, Mr. Caleb Loh today is such an amazing guest because he only started this journey 1.5 years, right? But within this 1.5 years, you know, he has gotten into huge projects with like huge corporations like the Alibaba Group as well as the local government. And you know what the best part is? He has not spent a single cent on marketing. Get that right, ladies and gentlemen, not a single cent on marketing at all, and he's able to get all these deals and all these contracts and all these prospects, all these clients. It's just so amazing what he does. And of course, how he does it is through social media. So social media is really Caleb's playground. So today's topic really is a lot about how we can do marketing and branding on social media, right? And I'm going to leave it over to the brand coach himself to share a little bit about what he does because it's just so amazing. You guys really have to pay attention to his story because I assure you, this is going to blow your mind. So, Caleb, off to you.
Hey, thanks, Gavin. Really appreciate it. So, can you just give him a round of applause wherever you're viewing for this initiative he's doing? It's really amazing. I've heard some of the previous episodes already, and I'm very pumped because I hope to really match up to all the great podcasts that he has done before. So, a little bit more myself. I'm a brand coach, and I believe that, in a nutshell, social media is my playground to help prospects fall in love with you. I really believe that if you have the ability to change people's lives, to have a very positive impact on people's life, they need to know how good you are. They really need to know. Not just they need to know how good you are, they need to respect you in your field. Otherwise, they're never ever going to approach you. So a lot of what I do today, I focus on how do I help people change their perception of you if you're in a position of sales or you are promoting a business. Yeah, this is in a nutshell what I do.
Wow, I mean, and I just wanted to share a little bit more on how actually I met Caleb. You know, the way I met Caleb is because of what he does through social media. In fact, it's so amazing. I remember the first time we had a conversation.
Yes.
We had no idea how we found each other on Facebook. We just like, I remember Caleb posted a video, which was excellent content and was so intrigued by it. I just left a comment and said that, hey, you know, that's really great content. Keep going, keep doing it. I love watching.
My first question was, who's this guy? That's the only thing I had in mind.
Yeah, and he actually asked me how we got connected. I was like, that's a great question. I have absolutely no idea as well. But you know, as I watched more of Caleb's video, as I got to know him as a person, I have to say that of the many people that I know in the industry today, Caleb is definitely one of the few guys that you know that he's so authentic, he's so trustworthy, and he's just so giving. And that's why I think just the second episode, I decided to have Caleb on the show because I know that he will be the one giving so much value and he's so selfless in sharing everything that he knows as well. So once again, thank you Caleb for coming onto the show.
Thanks, Gavin.
So Caleb, I mean your journey has been very, very interesting. You only started this 1.5 years. Can you share with us a little bit more about what was before this 1.5 years?
So I recall the dates very clearly. It's really like this stamp that's been imprinted into my head and I cannot forget this memory. My Facebook branding journey began in July 2018. That was the start of me becoming more known before I became more likable and trusted before I could influence a certain group of individuals. But before that, life was never too great for me. Understanding career wins was very foreign for me. Yeah, so I think every man, your first career is when you go NS, right? right? Yeah, and when I was in NS, I wasn't a very good leader. I was a section commander, a third sergeant, and I was so bad in leading my men that just before a major exercise in Brunei, my commander called me to his office one day and said, Caleb, come on in. So I went in, and he said these very words, your men are not listening to you, we have to take you out of command, somebody else replace you. And in a nutshell, I was demoted. Yeah, he didn't just, it wasn't really like a physical stripping of the rank, but I felt like he was stripping me naked, right? So all the men who don't like me, they knew I was demoted, they could laugh at me and make fun of me even more. Your sense of significance just tanks all the way down. Then when you survive that, then you go to uni and you graduate with a very expensive degree. And I came back, I couldn't find a job for 2 years.
Wow, 2 years. Wow.
2 years. Yeah, so I tried applying for this job, that job. I got a lot of internships that didn't translate into full-time jobs, right? And in the end, I just ended up in a sales-related role, right? So barely 1 year into a sales-related role, I was talking to my then girlfriend, now wife, like, should we get married? Then we agreed to get married, and we both agreed that, if we are both going to get married, maybe having 2 full-time jobs would be suitable, right? She one full-time job, I one full-time job. So I left my sales job and went back to square one to find a full-time job again. I found a full-time job, and it was a job scope that didn't suit my strengths. My strengths in creativity, writing, being expressive. You know what job I joined? Data analytics. Yeah, the first time I used Excel spreadsheet, like with not just inserting numbers but inserting formulas, was during the pre-interview test. That was the first time me touching formulas. So it was always going to be a very steep learning curve in that role. So for 4.5 years, I was always underperforming, way below everyone else. And some colleagues, right, were happy to show their unhappiness towards me. You feel it. Yeah. And 4.5 years in this role, it does take a toll onto your self-esteem. As a guy, it really does take a toll. So after 4.5 years, I told myself, I need to leave. So I left. I looked for. I didn't bother for a job. I started my own business. So I went into this area called image consulting, right? And I figured, you know what? People listen to consultants, so maybe I get authority for once in my career. Walao, biggest mistake ever. The moment you go out there in a business, no one really gives a shit about you. They don't care that you care. They only care. All they know is that you are nobody. Don't come near me. And that led to another 2 years of no income. Yeah, actually no, there was income lah. There was income. I earned $1,000 over 2 years, and that $1,000 was paid over a 10-month installment plan.
Wow.
So I can't even pay my electricity bills at home with $100 bucks. Yeah. So that's really what it was for me up to the point of July 2018.
And you were married then, right?
I've been married to date. In May I'll be 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, May 2020 it'll be 7 years of marriage.
Congratulations, by the way.
The real hero is my wife, that's what I can say. The real hero is my wife. Yeah, so that's, in a nutshell, my story before everything started with brand coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was what happened before, and you got into image consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do you do, or what made you decide to actually make the transition into brand consulting?
That's a very good question. Funny story is, at a point in time, I had given up on my business already. I was going to apply for a full-time job because my CPA was 0 and I had to eat humble pie. It's okay, my friends realized that, why Caleb suddenly joined a full-time job again? Did he fail in his business? I was okay with that, and I was okay taking a 40% pay cut in my salary as well. But no matter how many resumes I sent out, I had 0 replies. Yeah. So that was really the massive turning point when I realized I cannot quit my business. It was not a choice. So I went for this seminar, and this guy, he's really been one of the major influences of my business. His name is Eugene Sia. Okay, and he heard of what I do. Caleb, what do you do? I say I'm an image consultant. What do you do for clients? Oh, I focus on managing people's perception. It's not about vanity, I believe it's about how people perceive them as a leader. And he said, Caleb, you are not an image consultant. You are a perception strategist. You deal with perception. And that moment when in your life when this light bulb just turns on.
Yeah.
The moment he said about perception, right, it opened up my eyes to so much more possibilities beyond just the exterior image. Because I valued perception more than just looking handsome or looking nice, or having a beautiful hairstyle. To me, is how can your audience use an authority? Once he used the perception and replaced the word, got rid of the word image, I could look at social media, I could look at how you walk, how you talk, how you sit down, how you carry yourself. I could look at a more holistic angle. So that was really the start of my journey, that massive turning point into perception, which is, in a nutshell, branding.
Alright, so shout out to Eugene as well. I think I'm going to include Eugene's social media link below so that you guys can check him out as well.
Yeah.
But amazing story. So because of that, so you actually do the transition because of necessity. It's not because of anything else. It's because you needed it.
Yeah.
And through Eugene's recommendation, it just created this light bulb for you to make that transition over.
That's right.
Wow. So how have your journey been so far? So what are some of your major wins? What do you do in your business so far?
So in July 2018, that's when I first learned what you call the science of Facebook, where you understand Facebook algorithms, because they are a crazy machine. They're not a social media platform, they're an advertising platform. So you have to understand how their rules and their algorithms affect your social media posts. It's the reason why people engage in certain posts and they don't engage in certain other posts.
Yeah.
So I just learned a little bit of the science, and I told myself, you know what, I want to stop paying for ads. I want to just try positioning myself on social media. And I used to get 5 likes, 10 likes, token likes from my mother, my best friend, the usual few, the supportive few. But I just took what I knew how, which is to be vulnerable, to be authentic, and post in a way that took advantage of the social media algorithms, right? And almost overnight, for the first time in my life, people seem to take notice of me. They seem to respect what I had to say. And it was a very, very new feeling for me. Yeah. At the point in time, I recall in the first 6 months, people were saying how, Caleb, you're the new kid on the block, you're creating big waves. And I'm like, that's the first time I heard anyone say about me. Because my army days after my uni to my career has always been disappointment after disappointment. So you're riding on a high, you see, and that was the first win, the turning point, when you start to realize that people value you, not just value you, they really invest real currency, real money to you. So a lot of my biggest clients came from there. But the biggest turning point was when I shifted over from client services work into coaching work. And this is what happened. This financial advisor, in December 2018, just 5 months into my journey, he dropped me a text or messenger. He said, Caleb, can we meet up? I was like, sure, why? He said, I want to learn more about social media branding. And I'm like, just a casual meetup. Sure, let's meet up. I mean, to network. And I said, when can we meet up? He said, well, I'm in Japan on holiday with my girlfriend now. Can we meet after that? And I'm like, you're on holiday with your girlfriend and you're messaging me? Dude, you should be focusing on your holiday instead, right? But he texted me about a holiday with his girlfriend. So we met up, and that's when I realized that it wasn't just a casual networking meetup. He actually wanted me to coach him already. So he asked, Caleb, do you do coaching? And I went, yes. But my head was, you'll be the first coachee lah, you know? I don't even know what a coach really was. But I just quoted him a big number, as big as I could dare to dream. And he said, okay. Right. So that wasn't the turning point, the big win. The big win was when I see what worked for me, work for him as well. And so I'm a brand coach. If I do branding works for me, it's one thing, right? It's not the biggest starting point. But when it starts to work for somebody else in a different industry, in financial advisory, then you realize there's something potentially powerful here. It's not just a big win, it became a big win for him because he became an influencer overnight, and that allowed him to inspire, influence, and impact many people. Yeah, so to me, that was really the biggest win. I mean, people always say, sure, okay, like you've been to North Korea to train, you have been doing projects with Alibaba Group, and in fact, I'm be hitting a very big event with China government, Alibaba Group, and our Singapore government. I'm going to be hitting the project as well. But to me, this was really the biggest win, when you know that your product works for everyone else. Yeah.
Wow, what an amazing story, guys. I mean, from someone who started out not knowing anyone as well, and also through social media having a following, I can definitely relate to what Caleb is sharing. And I think what Caleb has shared is also very interesting. Because Caleb shared about the size of Facebook and how he actually used it to his advantage. Now, because I think many of us watching this right now, most of us use Facebook, YouTube, Instagram as a consumer, where we are just happy to post and get a few likes and get people to drop some comments here and there, but we have never really looked at it from a point of how can we understand the algorithm better, how can we make use of that to actually reach out to more people and then use it to benefit our business, and that is exactly what Caleb had done. And I think the credits to definitely Caleb is that he had managed to do it, and not only has he been able to do it for himself, he has replicated this success to his first ever coachee as well. So that's something that is amazing, and it really tells you that it has been proven and it can be done. So I'm going to help you guys think a little bit more on this. So
Sure,
tag me later at the comment section below. So Caleb, would you mind sharing with us a little bit more on what is this size of Facebook that you're talking about?
Okay, the size of Facebook. Very simple. Facebook is a machine and it needs certain rules and regulations such that you as a Facebook user or a social media user has an enjoyable time using it. So for example, right, so Facebook is not a social media platform, they're an advertising platform. What does it mean is that they tell advertisers that, hey, we have 2.5 billion users who are active every single month. That's why it is right to run ads on our platform. Their priority is to make sure to keep the 2.2 billion users to keep using Facebook. If they're not having a good time on Facebook, people are going to leave. That means Facebook, they have to then tell their advertisers, oh, now we only have 2 billion, oh, now we only have 1.8 billion, 1.5 billion. You see, they need to make sure that there's a group of users who are excited to use Facebook so that they can sell advertising space. And the only way to regulate an enjoyable experience is to come up with certain rules. What types of posts will get more reach because more people like this type of posts? What type of posts will get less reach because people hate all these spammy, all these salesy type of posts? And so it's their job to promote an enjoyable experience for you as a social media user. That's in a nutshell how I would describe the science of Facebook and the mechanisms in place to create all those algorithms.
So it's about understanding the real intention of what Facebook is doing.
Yes.
Like
What's their
ultimately,
business model?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you look at Facebook,
Yeah.
Facebook is one of the amazing companies that they have no debt and they generate a lot of cash. And if you look at their annual report, you realize that actually their cash all comes from advertising. So I think Caleb had pointed out and discovered this very important aspect of this business, which is they are an advertising platform. I think everyone knows Facebook as a social media platform, but the truth is their business model is they're an advertising platform. And I think Caleb also mentioned one point which I thought was very, very important, and something I'd like to bring up front as well, is that you have to keep people on the platform, right? Facebook doesn't like you to bring people out of their platform. It's just like if you go into the food court, right? They don't like you to bring food from outside in, because then you're not buying food from the stores in the food court itself. So likewise, Facebook, when you do things on their platform, what they want you to do is that they want you to actually keep people on the platform to keep using it so that they are going to see more ads and people, the advertisers want to spend more money. So I think that is that really what we are talking about here?
That's exactly what we're talking about here.
Wow. Then how do we actually then, since we know that, how do we hack this? How do we keep people on the platform? How do we get people to spend longer time by doing our posts? How do we actually achieve that?
Right. So maybe I'll just give 3 immediate tips that you can implement or stop implementing right away. The first thing is to avoid links in your posts. Those links are like, it could be a link that leads to your landing page where you're selling something, or it could be a link that helps to promote a charity event for this little girl who has no home and has 2 broken legs. Right? It doesn't matter. So long as you're bringing people out of Facebook, Facebook will punish you by making sure that the post reaches less. So a lot of people, they like to post the link, their website link in their post, their WhatsApp number, the link, and they put it in their post. This will automatically reduce your reach. So firstly, don't do that. Secondly, what do Facebook like? They like the types of posts that people always engage. A lot of likes, a lot of comments. There are your birthdays, your weddings, your anniversary. It could be Valentine's Day, Christmas Day. Those are when people are liking a lot of posts. So realize that this is the behavior of the social media users. They love all these very social related types of posts. So one way is to integrate your message, your company message, your sales message, integrate it into these seasonal or celebratory types of events in your life. Right? So that's one way to get more reach. The third way is An honest hack is to do videos, because why? A video is like 1 minute long, 2 minutes long. This video is probably going to be 30 minutes long. And think about it, if you were to have a very short post, you just scroll, right? You're done in what? 2 seconds or 5 seconds. If you were to watch a 5-minute video, you're spending 4 minutes and 55 seconds longer on Facebook than not, right? So that's the reason why we always say videos are the future. Because why? Facebook loves videos. That's actually the reason why it keeps people there longer.
And I think videos generally have a higher engagement as well. I mean, the way the Facebook algorithm does it, that the longer they view the engagement by how long someone views a video as well.
I have a point to add on that. For somebody to want to read a post, it's a very different commitment level from somebody who wants to watch your video. Okay? Pressing the see more button and pressing the play button is two very different commitment levels. The see more button is a very low commitment. It's easier for them to click. The play button is a very high commitment level. So if nobody is following your social media, your daily posts already, if you were to post a video, there's a very good chance that no one will watch. Unless it's an autoplay, every video just plays, but they're actually just scrolling. So to me, I'll always focus on doing videos when there are people who are following your content already. Yeah.
Wow, this is a very important tip, everyone. So don't just go out there and start doing videos. You have to make sure that people are already liking your content, they are following your content, and then when you supplement it with videos, that's when it's going to get more powerful. So don't just jump right into the mix like some of us do, myself included. So thank you for the tip. So we have to be very careful with what we are doing, because if not, I think the Facebook algorithm is going to punish you even more, because your engagement is going to get even lower. Right? So Caleb, thank you for sharing all these tips. I think it's all very powerful, and it helps. I mean, whoever's going to be watching this to actually reach out to more people. But once they reach out to all these people, right? How can they maintain this kind of engagement? How can they keep people coming back for more? Sometimes because when you do a post, you have a lot of people who like the post for a bit, for example, when you post up for a social event, you post a photo of you going overseas, and you realize that post usually will have a lot more people liking it.
Yeah, if you're in an airport with your luggage and you say you're going overseas for training, it'll be like 200, 300 likes very easily.
Yeah.
It's not like a hack, right?
Yeah, but what if after that I want to talk about something more serious? I want to start sharing about my values, my story, but the next post that comes in from 200 likes is going to drop to 20. So how can whoever's going to be watching this, how can they mitigate this? How can they do it better?
So is your question about, is likes important, or
like how's the engagement? I think as engagement wise, how can they maintain the engagement when they do different kind of posts?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So firstly, engagements are not important.
Okay.
Engagements are not important. My engagements from when I first started have about halved. Yeah, and sometimes the vanity matrix is quite real in here, and I do feel a bit. It's normal to feel demoralized. It is normal. But when I see my number of sales appointments doubling, tripling, or I'm not meeting just your regular real estate agent, financial advisor, or network marketer or lawyer. I'm meeting the sales leaders. I'm meeting the corporate team, right? I'm happy to forego half of my likes to get visibility with this group. So it's really not so much about likes. To me, likes is good at the start, when people realize, I really love this person. This message is so fresh, so amazing. Okay, but after a while, likes will definitely drop, because why? People get bored of your message. Or these people, they can like your post, but they're probably not going to be your client anyway. So it's okay, let them filter off. It's about finding your whole network and funneling them down to a group of people who always love you. So if I only have 30 likes, but these 30 people are my biggest fans, and I can funnel them into a WhatsApp chat group, give value, I meet up with them, they will link me up with somebody else. This is more valuable than the 200 likes I can get from my wedding post. It's way more valuable. Right? So a lot of my clients, they have to understand the fact that likes is important at the start, because you want to be noticed, but you have to start being clearer in your message, and the clearer you are in your message, the more targeted you are, the less people will be interested. Yeah. And you want less people to be interested. You only want the core group of people who can pay you, who will love you and respect you, to be in that group.
Wow, very important tip, because I feel that a lot of us, we always have this misconception, wow, the more likes better, the more comments better.
It's nice lah, it's nice.
Yeah, it does make you feel good, right? It is an egoistic factor in there. But I think what Caleb mentioned here is that, I think ultimately, I think we agree that such likes and comments, sometimes these are just vanity matrix, which doesn't really help in the business itself. And I think what Caleb have really touched on is about how you should be then refining your message while you are actually getting lesser likes or comments or whatever, but you realize that there's going to be a loyal group of people who really love your content, and that is when you're going to be able to figure out how you could potentially monetize, build connection with these people that actually leads on to bigger opportunities.
And do you know what's more important than likes? Is when people tell you face to face that they appreciate what you post. And more often than not, these are the people who do not even like my post or even leave a comment. It's when we meet up face to face and they say, Caleb, I've been following you for the past 2 years. You're on my see first list. I read all your content. But he never even pressed the like button. To me, it's that, and I got this multiple times, whether it's family, whether it's my wife's colleagues, even tell her that.
Okay.
But my target audience, when I meet up with them, they finally tell me, Caleb, I've been following you for a long time. Your content is amazing. I learned so much. Then I'm like, but you never like.
Right? So there are actually people who are stingy with likes, but then when they meet you in person, that's when they're going to show appreciation. Yeah. Okay, so Caleb, you mentioned a lot of things about message as well. So how do someone craft a message on Facebook that's going to get this group of loyal supporters? How can someone, especially for someone who is starting out on social media branding, what kind of message can he or she craft?
Very good question. I think that's what everybody wants to know, right? Like creating the message. But I think we need to start at the start point should not be the message. The start point should be the individual himself. See, I'm very, very frank with my clients, right? Personal branding is not for everybody. Because why? Personal branding is self-leadership. And there's always some group of people who struggle to see themselves as leaders. They always believe that the voice doesn't matter. They believe they're just a regular Joe. They're just there. If I'm a financial advisor, I'm just going to talk my sales, meet people, get new leads, meet them face to face. Someone who is really for personal branding is one who is really to influence minds, right? And it involves the mentality of a speaker, a public speaker. So if you were to go online, you watch how Obama speaks. Like him or not, you see how Donald Trump speaks. Look how Lee Kuan Yew used to speak, right? You look at how Muhammad Gandhi used to speak. You have to observe, even today, Oprah Winfrey, how she speaks today. They speak very differently from the average people. And that's the reason why they are in a position of influence. So if you want to start being in a position of influence, you need to start believing that you are in a position of influence. You need to start having the language of an influencer and the language of a public speaker. So a very good way is to firstly go online, you know your personality, or you know who you aspire to be. Go ahead and come up with a list of all these people and observe how they are like. Right? You don't want to find somebody who's totally opposite from you and you mirror the way he does it. You want to find someone who's similar to you. Could be a famous figure. Go ahead and do your research on YouTube, watch their style, and realize, hey, this is like me. What can I learn from how he delivers? That's a very good start point to knowing your persona. Once you know you're a leader, then we talk about messaging. Because why? Leaders always have a message to begin with. When it comes to crafting a message, let's just be very clear. It has to be a message related to your job. If it's not related to your job, it's just a social post, it's a waste of time. It'll win you many hearts, but it won't win you businesses. So to me, when I talk about the message, I have to be very clear about what is my product on offer. Okay. Once I know what's my product, don't mention the product. Okay. Because why? I just need to know what pain the product solves. Right? What are the pains? So what I do is that I look at my life. Have I experienced certain pains before? If I experienced it and I've overcome it, I will share about it. What it does to my readers is that if this product speaks to their pain, I talk about how I experienced this very same pain in my own life. When they read my post, they're not just seeing my pain, they are seeing their own pain. Their own pain, right? That's how we start to craft our message.
They see the reflection of themselves.
Reflection, right? Because personal branding is not about everything is about me as a person. No, it's about me being personable. It's my job to make sure you know I understand what you're going through. Either I've been through it, or my clients have been through it, or I just know that you're not in a very good place and I'm here to help. That is really how, in a nutshell, I craft my message.
Wow, I don't know if you guys are watching, you guys might have noticed that for the last few minutes I'm just writing down all the notes available, right?
It's real notes, it's real notes. I'm seeing real words over there.
Because it's just very amazing, and for someone like Caleb who within 1.5 years have just came out of for lack of better word, came out of nowhere and dominating this scene with everything that he currently knows, and to be working on all these projects and sharing all these tips with you right now is just so amazing. And just to be clear, people are paying him a lot of money to be hearing what you are currently hearing as well. So for that, please follow Caleb on his social media, because you're going to get so much more valuable information on that. And Caleb, I just find it so interesting when you talk about it's about belief, it's about the kind of language, and you talk about how people should bother with someone they are similar with. Because I think a lot of us, sometimes when we think about, we want to be a leader, we want to be someone good, we always go out there and we just find that role model that there is, and then we just want to follow suit. But you point out something that I think many of us may not have realized, which is that we might be following the wrong kind of role model. Because everyone have our own personality and our own style and our own quality. And I think you will agree with me that that there's really leaders of every kind. And that it's important that you, who is watching this right now, go out there and find that leader, that role model that is most similar to you. And if you like to do that, then role model with him. Don't go and find someone else who is the polar opposite of you, because you're going to have a tough time to be able to replicate what he or she is doing, to be able to talk the way she talks, to be able to do the things that he or she does. It's just like, the way I like to talk is that I'm a bit more quick fire. I talk a lot faster, and my tone of voice is just a bit higher, right? If I could already talk like this and be a little bit more presence, but I don't, right? It's just not me, right? So you always find someone who is relatable, and I think that is really something that I took away a lot, because I realized that sometimes I follow the wrong kind of role models as well, and it really makes my life so miserable, because I'm pulling out my hair trying to figure out how can I be like him, how can I be like her, but the truth is, because innately I'm not like them. It's so tough.
It is one thing that you feel uncomfortable. It's another thing is that your audience know you're faking it. Yeah. When you are someone who speaks from a Chinese speaking background, right, and you are trying to do a video in English, and you try to think of that Angmo, that Chinese guy who grew up speaking English, went to the top English schools in Singapore, you see how he does video, you try to mimic that. People are going to know it's very fake, because why you're delivering in a way that's very unnatural to you. Your facial muscles will show it.
Yeah.
Your body language will look very uncomfortable. So own your own language and let it shine. In a nutshell.
Wow, that is so powerful. Own your own language. That's going to be the tagline of one of the promo videos I'm going to do. Own your language, right? Own your language and let yourself shine. That is really, really powerful. And Caleb, you talk about sharing a message is about you don't talk about the offer, but you want to use the pain. You want to share the pain about the offer, about the product, and you want to use personal story to relate that. But I think to clarify it for the audience who's going to be watching this, how can we find the pain of the offer? What if I don't have that pain, but yet I'm trying to sell something? Then how do I craft it into my message and relate it to my audience?
That's a very, very good question. There's many times, say for example, if I'm in real estate and I'm very young, I'm not married, I'm still 25 years old, I don't own a home.
Yeah.
How can I relate to homeowners who are 40 years old, they have children, am I at a disadvantage? Well, firstly, maybe your target audience could be young couples getting married. That's one way of building rapport. But I think let's look at this word pain more holistically. Let's take a step out of this bubble. When you talk about pain, there is your external pain, right? Which is the experiences you have gone through, the physical harm that you have experienced. For example, like maybe family abuse or coming last in class every single year. These are external pains, and it's unique to usually you or a very small group of people. But if you realize that behind this external pain, there's an internal pain. And this internal pain are things of sadness, loneliness, sense of insignificance, sense of your words not mattering at all, yeah, sense of hopelessness. This internal pain is shared globally, no matter what culture you're from, which country you, or what language you speak, it is a universal emotion. Yeah, so if you cannot find your external pain to connect with your audience, find internal pain. Find internal pain. All you need is so I can be 25, so I'm 34 years old, but I look like 25 years old. But my clients are people in their 60s, people in their 50s. They are high-powered. Some of them are high-powered lawyers that won award after award for the past 30 years. I went for his Christmas party, and like rich doctors, people who he hangs out with, and like this guy who used to fail in my career, they go to good schools, and yet I'm among them. The rapport is not based on external pain. The rapport is based on internal struggles, and they relate to me based on that. That sometimes alone is enough to get you the first opportunity into doing business with them.
So would you say that at a certain stage, it's about being honest with yourself and finding that the struggle that you might have deep inside, to use that and then to find that connection point with your potential client or prospect?
Exactly just that.
Wow, okay. All right. So we went through a lot already. There's so much tips that is written on my notes. I just want to move on to the next part of the interview.
Sure.
But I think we have been going on for quite some time as well.
Yes.
So Caleb, now that you have been doing this and you share so much tips with us already, right? What are if you could share with us like the key lessons in your entrepreneurship journey? Because it's been 1.5 years. Well, of course, your area of expertise is brand coaching right now. But in your entrepreneurship journey, what are some of your key lessons that you feel that is important that you would like to share with the audience?
There are 2 lessons I can think of right now. The first is you can't do it alone. Surrounding yourself with people who can mentor you really helps. For me, I knew my strength when I first started out is that I look very young. I look very, very young. And you know when it's like when I'm a big brother, right? And I'm still, let's say I'm 10 years old, right? And my little brother is like 9 years old. I'll find him very annoying, you know. But if I'm 10 years old and my little brother is 1 year old and he like leans on me, I feel very shook. There's this shook feeling. It's almost universal, you know. It's almost universal. There's a need for someone older to want to nurture the next generation, right? And I think that was a very big part because I looked very young. I was trying to do it all by myself the whole time. But once I surrounded myself in the community, I realized that people saw potential in me and my youth, and they gave a lot of their time for free into me. Yeah, they would tell me, hey Caleb, I think you might need some templates, official templates for your company. Here are some templates. You just change the logo, change your company name in there. And I'm like, why are you helping me? Yeah, they just decided to invest their time in me, and because of that, I got way more opportunities than I just did myself. So it's very important to surround yourself with people who could invest their time with you. Yeah, and it's your job to also portray that you are somebody worth investing your time in. Yeah, it goes both ways. It satisfies my need to grow. It satisfies their need to give. Yeah, when they're seeking, they really get success. Now they're looking for significance. Right. So that's the first thing that I think is very crucial. The second thing that I think is very crucial is to stay very grounded. And I'm sharing this not because I succeeded in it. I'm sharing this because I thought I struggled with it just 4 months ago.
Wow, so it's new story, guys. You hear it first here.
Just 4 months ago in about November 2019. Right? You know when your job is about helping people get attention, I also get a lot of attention because my clients get a lot of attention. Yeah, so it's about this micro influencer thing, and after a while, it feels really good. You're on a high. People are praising you. People are celebrating you. You know that when one of your network drops you a message to meet up, 90% will close, and that's when you realize that you're king of the hill. You start to act differently, walk differently, and I don't mean that I'm mean or arrogant. No, it's just that I realized in the way I conveyed my message on social media, I put a lot less effort into it. I became more complacent. I thought that now that I'm guru level, I'll just be more direct, more blunt, and we all should love my message because why? I've earned my right. I spent the past year and a half writing so many posts. I really changed lives. I've earned this influence. No, influence is continuously earned. As easy as it is earned, it is easily unearned. Lost. What's the word? It disappears just as easily, right? And it was quite demoralizing when I see that I realized that my engagements are dropping and dropping. People don't seem to be caring about my message as much anymore. And I realized, and when that happened, I realized one thing. I stopped loving my audience. Almost overnight. Yeah. And whether, even they don't meet you on face to face, they can tell online that you stopped loving them. Yeah. So actually, it was in the middle of January, I told myself, you know what? I need to rediscover that love. Because if I don't rediscover that love, I just go, I'll be an unknown, back to square one. Yeah. So actually the past month and a half was just spent investing in people's life, meeting them up, not doing any sales, but doing live with them, giving their struggles, giving them real tips. And that's what I did for a month and a half. And now the returns are crazy. With zero sales intention, I'm now having appointments with sales, not just many sales leaders, but the corporate teams of sales companies as well. Yeah, and I never had that when I was all famous, and back last year and the year before, right? So I realized that once you stop loving your clients, your fan base, they will feel it. Yeah, so you need to always find a space where you can keep receiving love, so you can keep giving love to people. You keep giving love and love and love, and you don't receive, you're just gonna run dry. And when your audience wants more, there's nothing to give. So never ever stop loving your fan base.
Very, wow. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys feel it through the camera and through the video itself, but as I'm sitting down here listening to Caleb, I'm watching him, I'm writing my notes, I'm watching him, but I can sense his authenticity, his feelings towards like his audience, people who follow him. I could almost see like the tears gonna come out, if I could. So what I'm gonna do is post editing, I'm gonna do like a zoom in onto his face so that you guys maybe can see it. But it's like, oh my god, it's so amazing. And I think what Caleb has shared about entrepreneurship journey is that really, even for myself, I don't do it alone. I'm not a solopreneur, I have a team, I have a partner who works very, very well together. He says about don't do it alone. You need someone who can mentor you, because I think what Caleb have mentioned is that people have, it's like the Maslow hierarchy of needs kind of thing. People need the sense of fulfillment, the sense of self-actualization. People want to give back as well at a certain level, and you just need to find this group of people and hang around them. And that is something that wasn't because we always hear people say, find a mentor, right? But I think the way that Caleb approached this is a little bit different. He knows that there's going to be people who are willing to invest in you, but you need to put in the effort to invest in these people and to surround yourself with them. And of course, and about the rights thing, right? You said that you felt that you earn everything, and I think the common saying that we have in our industry and everything is that your leadership and respect is earned every day. Every single day you need to earn that respect. Every single day you need to earn that leadership. It's not given to you. So in view of our business as well, I think for our love of our audiences, our following, the love is to be earned every single day as well. We need to really put in the effort, and never forget our original intention of how we started out doing all these things.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for sharing those with us, Caleb. It's like,
you're welcome.
I like the emotion. I can sense it's like, oh my god, it's. I say anymore, later I zoom in on my face, you can see the tears. Okay, so I'm going to change the topic, guys. I'm going to change the topic. Okay, so thank you for sharing everything. I think we are reaching the end of this amazing sharing. I don't want to waste a lot of time. I know you have a lot of things that you need to do right after this as well. So this is a bit cliche.
Sure.
It's just the last part of this interview series.
Sure.
But if there's ever someone who is an aspiring social media marketer, or someone who's an aspiring brand coach today, right? They're just starting out new, and you didn't have time. You didn't have time like this today to sit down and share so many valuable tips and information to all these people. You could just say one thing. to him or her, what would be this one thing be? Guys, you can tell that he's really thinking of a very great answer for you guys. So keep watching and keep listening. Okay, it's gonna change your life and your business. You know what? You know why Caleb needs to take so long? Because Caleb has so much that he wants to give.
I cannot express it in
Yeah,
one sentence.
he's so selfless that he always wants to share so much, right? I know it because I can sense it every time I talk to Caleb. He just has so much that he wants to share with you guys. So in fact, I know that if today he wasn't in a rush of time, he will be able to share so much more with you guys. But because of time constraint, this interview can't take that long. So Caleb, what would you
I'll say that especially in brand coaches or aspiring entrepreneurs, is that, and this is especially for brand coaches, if you want to do brand coaching, make sure you are well branded as well, and invest time and effort into building a rapport in a way that competitors cannot even fight.
So build rapport until you kind of lock out your competitors. Wow, that's really powerful. Sorry guys, so obviously I'm really writing the notes, that's why I'm taking some time. So because I think, wow, this is really kind of like a mindset shift as well, because we always talk about how we can outbid the competitor, we can outprice the competitor, how we can steal other people's ideas and just do what they were doing to and then price cut them or something. But what Caleb has just mentioned is that it's all about building relationship and connections. Build the rapport until your customers choose no one else but you. Right? And that is just a huge mindset shift.
It's just easier to do business this way. I'm just lazy, so I just want to make sure people who I meet really, really want me from the start. If not, it will eat into my own time, which costs money as well. Yeah.
It's lazy, but ladies and gentlemen, it works. Not a single cent spent on Facebook ads or any form of marketing, and yet look at where he is today. Mr. Caleb Low, the branch coach. Okay, so you guys, again, it has been an amazing session. Thank you very much, Caleb, for doing this. Thank you for agreeing to come onto this brand new show called Conversations. Really thank you very much. If you guys want to follow Caleb on social media, please find him at Caleb Space Low, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Caleb Space Low,
LOW,
and I will put his link right here. You should be able to see on your screen, as well as on the description box below. Please follow him on social media, because this guy has just so much good content to share with every one of you out there. And of course, for those of you who are watching this new series called Conversation, hosted by me, yours truly, do not be stingy, right? I would love that you all give me a like or comment, right? If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell as well. For the rest of you, I hope that this particular session with Caleb has been very useful and valuable to you. So once again, join me to give an applause to Mr. Caleb Low. Yay!
Thanks, Gavin. Appreciate it. Yeah.
And also stay tuned to the next episode of our conversation. So we'll be uploading videos weekly with an expert in their field as well, where we talk about sales, marketing, and entrepreneurship. Okay, so remember to stay tuned next week. I will see you guys again. Bye.
Bye.